Hello, coaches. Welcome back to another episode of Coach Better Spotlight. My name is Kim Cafino, and I've worked with hundreds of teachers, coaches, and leaders in schools around the world to help them create thriving and sustainable instructional coaching programs. And I'm on a mission to help you coach better. Wherever you are in your coaching journey, we can support you. Come learn with us in one of our courses or private mentoring packages designed specifically for instructional coaches. Join our global Coach Better community, ask any questions you'd like to hear us answer, and find all of our resources for instructional coaches on our website at coachbetter.tv. You can also find us on social media at Eduro Learning or in our Coach Better Facebook group, and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube to catch all of our latest videos. If you're not sure where to start, take our free quiz and get a tailored list of our best coaching resources delivered straight to you and designed specifically for your level of coaching experience. Find it at coachbetter.tv/quiz. Today's spotlight is another in our series of coaching case studies with one of my amazing clients, Tina Bhatia, second grade classroom teacher at the American Community School of Abu Dhabi. Tina is a graduate of the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program, working with Diana Beabout as her mentor. And when we recorded this episode, she was almost finished with the program. These case study episodes are designed to share the story of a coach and the development of their coaching program and practice in their unique setting. I'm excited to share this episode with Tina with you because it's always wonderful to hear about a classroom teacher who is inspired to become a coach. And it's important to unpack all the different aspects to consider when moving from classroom to coach. Tina learned a lot in her time in the coach, and she is so ready to make the move. This Spotlight episode is focused on what teachers need to know to opt into coaching. In the full-length audio podcast episode, we talk about what attracted Tina to coaching, what coaching looks like in her school setting right now, what she's thinking about as she's considering the move from classroom to coach, her advice for teachers wanting to move into a coaching role, and some aha moments she's had over the past academic year learning about being a coach in the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program. To listen to the full-length podcast episode, subscribe to Coach Better wherever you get your podcasts. This episode is a fantastic example of all of the different elements that classroom teachers need to consider when making the move to instructional coaching, and many of the key elements that coaches would benefit from remembering from their classroom days. If you're curious about making the move into a coaching role, make sure to stay tuned to the end of the episode to hear more about how I can support you in the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program. And you'll hear Tina talk about her learning in the program too. You were just talking about one of the things you learned in the course was that coaching is not evaluatory, and you didn't know that as a teacher. And so once you knew that, that kind of shifted your perspective. As a classroom teacher, what do you think teachers need to know about coaching and coaches to make that choice to opt in? Because I think it's voluntary in your school setting, right?
Right.
Yes. So for teachers to volunteer, what do they need to know? They need to know it's not evaluative. What else do they need to know to feel safe to embark on a coaching cycle or even a mini coaching cycle?
I think they need to know that it is a partnership and it's not like, that's like a top-down kind of thing. It's where it's teacher driven. They really need to know that. It's really what their goal is, what they're seeing in their class. And to opt in for that coaching cycle. So I think that's really important for them to understand that it's very teacher driven and not, and it's no matter what part, like even if you don't finish the full cycle, you're still getting gains from this. So I think it's really open. I think a lot of times teachers don't have time, so they feel like it's dedicating a long stretch of time, right? So once you commit, but I think it's important for them to also know that coaches are willing to work around your schedule. They're willing to, like, even if it's just 15 minutes or it's a short amount of time, it does not have to be an extended meeting every time. I think that's important to know.
You, even in those couple of things, you mentioned so many important things. And I think I really appreciate the partnership, the not top down. It's about their goals for their students and what they're seeing in their class. Like that is obviously the key, most essential thing for teachers to understand. And that is what we talk about in the clarity phase in the coach, like really getting clarity around what is this role so you can communicate it successfully. But when you talked about teachers don't feel like they have time and they feel like they're rushed all the time, there's like a tension that happens here because I think teachers feel like they're rushed all the time. And coaches also feel like, well, but I want to do the right thing. I want to do the best I possibly can. So building that understanding and having that shared recognition that even if it's not this big magical thing, you're still going to have student learning gains. And coaches are willing to work around your schedule and they're willing to be flexible and they're willing to try different ways to support you. That's such an important message. And I'm glad that you're bringing it up because I think that's something that can be easily forgotten when you move into the role. And so if you have this as a reminder for yourself that that's a message you want to share when you move into the role, I think it'll be really well received by your colleagues.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good way to definitely communicate that for sure.
Because you're right? Everyone is so busy. Everyone feels so rushed and like they don't have enough time for anything. And so when you see even sometimes the graphic of the coaching cycle and immediately a teacher's thought is like, wait a minute, that's like there's meetings involved, like, and maybe more than one meeting. Like, no way, I don't want to have any part of that. I already have enough meetings, but really being clear about communicating that those conversations can be in so many different ways, in so many different settings. And really it's about what you're already trying to do in your classroom, but with an additional thought partner to help you get there.
Right. Yeah, that is so true. Yeah, the thought partner, really thinking of it that way. You're right. And I wish there was another name than meeting, right? Like conversations. Maybe that's a great way to say it because it truly is conversations, but of course, with structure, with meaning behind it, and with the end goal, of course, being student success. So.
Yeah, and it's interesting, even as talking about this with you now, it's like bringing other things to the surface in my head, the word meeting and the negative connotation we have around that, but also the like unstructured feeling we might have when we hear the word conversation. So it's like you just said, conversations with structure. That's an interesting, even like way to pitch it, I think, to potential coaching partners, because conversation doesn't sound intimidating, but with structure gives it purpose. And that's like a nice way to think about that time.
Right. Yeah. I think just the word meeting.
I know.
I don't know, maybe sure.
Meeting's no good. Observation is no good. It's hard because words they end up having baggage and we have to figure out, okay, what's a different word that we can say that isn't going to bring a whole bunch of other feelings along with it. So yeah, it is part of the work is like making sure you're saying the right thing.
Right.
Or thinking carefully about the words that you choose is what I should have said. Thanks for watching this clip with Tina. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. If this conversation resonated with you and you are thinking about how you might make the move from classroom to a coaching role, you will love our courses for coaches. Our signature program is the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program, and that's the course that Tina is talking about in this episode. Inside this program, we work through the Thrive model for sustainable instructional coaching. So you're focused on building a coaching culture within your school while you're developing your coaching practice as an individual coach. We use the 3 phases of the Thrive model, clarity, consistency, and community, to help you reflect on your practice and program from both a macro and micro lens, looking at the whole coaching program in your school and your individual coaching practice. We do all of this with a systems view to ensure that you're building in sustainability from the start. To dig deeper into the Thrive model, make sure to download the coaching program evaluation and watch the Thrive workshop. You'll get a deeper understanding of the model and be able to evaluate your coaching program and practice to see where you or your program has opportunities for growth. Find all of our free resources, including the evaluation and the workshop, on our website at edurolearning.com/thrive. And if you realize you need support as you go through the process, come join us for our next global cohort of the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program. Not only will you learn everything you need to be successful as a K-12 instructional coach with an entire academic year of curated coaching content, but you'll also get the support of a mentor to adapt your learning to exactly your needs and experience for the entire program. This program is truly personalized because we know you're coming to the coach with your own experience and expertise and your own unique needs from your school setting. So wherever you are in your coaching practice, we can support you in taking the next step forward. Plus, inside our private community, you'll learn with a global cohort of coaches from schools around the world, so you can see how coaching really works in other schools and build your network of coaches. Our global cohorts open only once a year. Get all the details and join the waitlist for our next cohort at edurolearning.com/coach. If you'd like a transcript of this conversation and all of our other resources for instructional coaches, head over to our website at coachbetter.tv to find the show notes for today's episode. If you've made it this far into the episode, let's chat. Please leave me a comment below or find me on social media at Eduro Learning and send me a message about what you took away from today's episode. Let's start a conversation to see how we can work together to create a thriving coaching culture in your school setting. See you next time.